Hi, Nancy Mueller here, the one and only Mastering Your Beliefs Sensei. If you follow my work at all, you may know that I am a student, competitor, and teacher of the martial arts. I love the martial arts, honestly. I think I could watch cartoons about martial arts. That's how much I love them. I started studying karate because I wanted to learn how to fight. I wanted to learn how to protect myself. I was sick and tired from the people that were taking advantage of me, were putting me in victim mode. I hated being a victim. I hated feeling vulnerable. I really did. But let me share something with you. I have fought people in the ring and out of the ring, and my toughest opponent always was and always will be the person I see in the mirror. That ego that crops up. You know, ego. It's that persona, that person, that part of us that says, you don't need to practice self-care today. You don't need to work out today. You don't need to eat healthy today. You don't need to stand up for yourself today. Who do you think you are? Come on, get back down there. Just stay down, stay low. Yeah, that guy. That guy was the David to my Goliath. I started out wanting to learn to fight, to have that strength to really physically take care of myself. And the longer I studied, the more I realized that the peaceful way of life is what we really want to attain. That going within, that finding out who you are. Because once I stopped needing to fight, the need to fight stopped showing up in my life. This is what Dan Millman calls the peaceful warrior, the way of the peaceful warrior. And I like to think of every woman as a warrior, but sometimes we don't see ourselves as warriors. Sometimes the day-to-day strifes, opportunities, events, challenges, hurdles that we go through, we don't really give ourselves a lot of credit for what it takes to get through these daily challenges. We just look at it as part of life. This is what we do. So we don't really see ourselves as warriors. Now, you don't have to be Wonder Woman and leap tall buildings to be a warrior. A warrior to me is basically someone who will say, you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough, and I want to figure out how I can be the best me that I can be. I refuse to give up. I'm just ready to let go of all of the stuff that's been bothering me and see if there's a different way, a more peaceful way to look at this thing we call life. During some of the earlier days of my training, one of the black belts introduced me to a book. And she could see that I was having some challenges with some of the techniques. And of course, my anger, ego, popped up, and I'm like, what is her problem? I don't need a book. I need to learn how to figure out this technique. I think it actually made me quite angry. But sooner or later, I went and got the book, and I read the verse that she told me to read, and then I got more angry. Because I felt that she was making fun of me, or I don't know, trying to make me feel bad, or hurt my feelings. But you know what? No one can make you feel anything. One of the most valuable things that I've ever learned is no one can make us feel anything. No one has that kind of power over another person. It was actually what I was saying to myself. And obviously she was right. The verse that she suggested to me was very much needed. When I actually let go of what ego was trying to teach me to do and embraced something new, I learned a lot. And the more I studied, the more I knew that it was the power of my mind that was really getting me through everything that I thought I joined up and started martial arts for. Now, why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you because I work with women going through the 3 stages of divorce, either thinking about it, dealing with it, or trying to put that behind them. And I find that this journey, the journey that we call divorce, can have so many ups and downs. And it can leave us feeling like such a victim. For me, I think there were times when I just laid on the floor and cried and said, I can't take anymore. I can't take it. I give up. Whatever it is, I give up. But I know that I'm not a quitter. And one of the most important things that I learned is letting go is not the same as giving up. When you can learn to let go of your beliefs, what brought you to the point, that point where you're searching for answers, that point that you're searching for a divorce, that divorce seems like the answer, that's pretty much stage 1. Stage 2, when you're going through it, you filed for divorce, now you're trying to figure it out, divide what needs to be divided, and going through that whole time of moving from a we to a me, and how do you divide up your life and what you've known. And then stage 3, the divorce is over, it's final. What the heck does that mean? Do I start dating? Do I not date? All of these 3 stages are so important. And they remind me a lot of my time studying the martial arts. Because when you start martial arts, you go in as a white belt, pretty much a novice, right? We don't know anything, and that's what the white belt symbolizes. Then as we go in and study, we take our belt off and put it on and put it off and on and off and on. And through that time of untying and tying the belt, it becomes dirty, soiled from our hands. And that represents brown, the phase of brown. And then you keep going and it becomes black, just black with use. And then you keep going and it starts to become frayed. And the threads inside start to come out, and those threads are white. So you go from white to black to white again. And that's the whole point of a Zen lifestyle. When you go from innocence to knowing, to letting go, and back to innocence. And wouldn't it be wonderful if you could get to that point in your life when you're dealing with whatever stage of divorce you're dealing with? That feeling of knowing how valuable you are, how important you are, what a gift you are. And this thing that we call divorce is temporary. You will get through this. I know there are days when it feels so huge. There were days when I felt like I was walking through jello. I did not know how I was going to get out of it. I did not know how I was going to get through it. I did not know how I was going to cope with it. And I couldn't even begin to imagine life after divorce. It just didn't make sense to me. But I'm here to tell you that it is possible. Whatever stage you're in, it is possible to be empowered in every stage if you are willing to know yourself. If you're willing to let go of putting the blame on someone else and just be open to what you can learn from this experience. Be open to what you're gaining from this experience. I wish I had known this during my divorce. And in part I did. The part of me that knew this was that part of my martial arts training. But when you're faced with something that's so emotional for you, oftentimes it's hard to take something we know and correlate it and bring it together and say, what do I know that can help me through this? And the bigger question, what don't I know that can help me through this? Because we don't know what we don't know. But there are so many well-meaning friends, co-workers, family members, who say they want to stay by our side and help us through it. But they each have an emotional attachment to us. They need us to come out of it in a way that serves them the best, whether consciously or unconsciously. They're usually giving us advice, staying away, staying in our lives based on how this is all affecting them. So it's really important to find that connection where you can be around women who are going through it, have gone through it, who are trying to put it behind them, who are trying to understand, once they're putting it behind them, how did they get to this point? And how can what they're learning in stage 3 help them should they ever decide to get married again or to start dating again? I'm sure you've heard women say, man, I just keep picking the same guys, same losers, I don't understand. Well, very often you will choose the same type of person to date or marry again if you haven't figured out where you are, who you are, and why you make the choices that you do. That's why each stage of divorce is so important. Each stage is valuable because it's teaching you something about you. Of course, it can only teach you as far as you're willing to learn. So my invitation to you would be to check out my website, masteringyourbeliefs.com, and look at the 3 stages of divorce. Find out what we're doing. We have group programs, I have a Facebook page, I have one-on-one coaching. Wherever you need to be met, I can meet you there. Maybe you just want to be part of the Facebook group. All of the links that you need are at the bottom of this video. We're here to help you. We're here to make sure that you have everything that you need to get through one or all of the 3 stages of divorce. And if we don't have it, I'm sure together we'll come up with something. In the meantime, this is Nancy Mueller saying ciao for now.